1 year ago, a rocket fell on a playground in the Israeli-occupied Golan Heights, killing 12 children. It happened during a flare-up of fighting between Israel and the militant group Hezbollah. DW's Rama Jarmakani visited the town of Majdal Shams to see how families of the victims and the entire community have been coping with the loss.
It's been a year since Muna Saab put her son Nazem, then 16 years old, to rest. Her pain is still raw.
The hardest moment was losing him. Eid al-Adha was tough. His birthday on May 11 was tough. Mother's Day was very hard. Whenever I miss him, I go back to his photos, the voice messages between us.
Nazem was the eldest of the 12 children who lost their lives when a missile hit this football field in July of last year. Israel accused Hezbollah of launching the attack and targeting civilians. The Lebanese militia group quickly denied responsibility. Jivara, aged 9, was the youngest of the children killed that day.
He was a boy who loved football. It was his passion. He used to tell me, when I become a professional player, I'll let you stay home and rest. I'll take care of you. He played with a team. He was the captain and top scorer.
Everywhere you go in the small town of Majdal Shams and other villages in the Golan Heights, pictures of the children. This is a tight-knit community. Together, they are suspended in that tragic moment of loss. Saleh is the team coach. He was in almost daily contact with the children.
The first image we received was of body parts against this wall. I had a terrible feeling that one of our players was on the field. 2 or 3 hours later, names of the victims started to come in. That's when I went into shock, complete numbness. Maybe for 10 or 15 minutes. I couldn't speak or do anything. I couldn't move at all for the first 10 minutes.
Jonia has been part of the effort to try and heal these scars. The psychologist opened her clinic, originally meant to treat adults, to people of all ages.
Because of the large number of people who needed help and the inability to bring teams in from the outside because the war was still ongoing, our own team struggled. Even I had difficulty helping others. I had to undergo therapy myself so I could stand on my own feet and open the centre. The hardest case was the father of one of the victims. As therapists, we can't cry with those we're treating, but during that session, I felt like I was choking listening to him. Imagine having to treat and support someone while you're crying in front of them.
With no nation flag, when the children were buried, their coffins were only wrapped in white blankets. They were killed in a war that wasn't theirs. Their parents tell us they don't want the memory of their children to be used by any of the sides involved in the conflict.
During the funeral, a man came to me saying he wanted Israel to take revenge for those who fired the rockets. I told him the same thing I say today. I don't want revenge or anything like that. I want my son to be a message of peace. Nothing more, nothing less. Even the children in Lebanon are not to blame. The people in Lebanon are not to blame. Nor are the people in Gaza to blame. Not even the people in Israel are to blame. It is these regimes that want to stay in power. This is their war, not the war of the poor.
Rama Jarmakani, who filed that report, is here in the studio with me now. So, Rama, let's talk about 1 year on. How is the community coping?
Actually, as the saying goes, everything starts small and then getting bigger, unless the grief, all people are is better situation, we can say, but the wounds are still unhealed, they're still open. You can see that from the pictures everywhere, how people visiting the playground every day, from even not only the victims' families, everyone, like they put flowers, the children, it's like the biggest problem was the children because they lost their friends. So like they are trying to keep it alive and keep the memory alive.
And this playground and this moment, why were they so deeply symbolic?
Actually, it's because since 1967, people in Golan Heights, they weren't in a war. We have like now 2-3 generations, they don't know the war. They weren't because like they choose the peaceful struggle and peaceful resistance since 80s. And after that, nothing, no clashes with people in Golan Heights. So for them, it wasn't their war. And they were a victim, and it came suddenly. They didn't expect that. And also the price when you are, maybe if it's your war, that you said like, okay, this is the price I should pay. But when it's not your war, it's like more deep, the sadness is deep.
What about the families that you talk with? I mean, what did they tell you about justice or maybe the lack of justice?
Actually, like as Ibrahim in the report says, and also like the family of Nadim, the other guy, died in the incidents. They were really insisting. Everyone I met in the 4 villages of Golan Heights, they were insisting like, okay, we hope these 12 children are a peace message for the world. We don't want any more blood. We hope we're going to end any war. If this is the price, we are okay to pay it. No one is talking about revenge. No one is talking about like more blood. They wish everything to stop because they told me like, we know the feelings. We don't want any other people to feel it.
Yeah, sure. You can understand that. Are local or international organizations, are they offering any support?
Actually, I think since like in the beginning it was a little bit difficult because the war was starting, like in that time was continuing. But I think the government, because the schools there are related to the Israeli government, they send professional support, psychological support for the kids. They offered that, but it came after a while. But in Golan Heights, in the 4 villages we are talking about, it's a very well-knitted community. So they were supporting each other, visiting, staying around, even like Jonia, as we saw, like the psychologist, she was offering the help for everyone. So this is how they helped each other.
Do they fear that this could happen again?
I think now, because the war stopped between Hezbollah and Israel, this is not the fear for the Golanis. Their fear is coming from the other side, from Syria. Yeah, so it's like they have different fear now.
Rama, good to have you in the studio and good to help put that report that you did in context for us. Thank you.
Thank you.